But today I want to do something really fun. I want to play the hot seat. This is super fun. It's a game we used to play whenever we would do training in the morning. We don't have to play it for like the full hour because it kind of gets a little exhausting. But it's basically where you just dish out an objection and then you just clarify, isolate, validate, reframe. But you just be like, yeah, man, I think I kind of want to take the night to sleep on it. And then like the other person be like, yeah, dude, no, I totally understand. I know it's a pretty big decision. I guess just for my clarity, like what's kind of going through your mind? Like, is it kind of more so the program, the cost, or just kind of fill me in just so I know where to kind of follow up on our next call? And he's like, oh yeah, it's this and that. And then you validate them and then you reframe like right there. And that's it. You don't go into like all the objection handling and looping. It's just like getting comfortable, challenging an objection. That's really what the hot seat's for. And it's really fun because you like everybody when you're going so fast, everybody's just like trading, like you're just like, and you're just like, all right, next hot seat, go. So I think that'd be pretty fun to just like start ripping and going. Anybody nervous to play the hot seat? People will kind of start filling in as the call's going, but I kind of just want to like people just to jump on and we're just kind of like in our flow. So you guys nervous? We got some new faces on here. You guys see Mr. Michael? He's all suited up. Oh, cool. All right, well, cool. Who wants to start? We can start it. And then what happens is like once you do the objection, you pick somebody and then you go. So I'll be like, Ferran, I need to think about it. All right, yeah, dude, Ferran, I like everything I kind of see here. I think I just kind of want to take the night. I think I just kind of want to take the night to think about it, honestly, and I'll let you tomorrow. I'll let you know tomorrow. But it seems to be like, yeah, like I'm pretty interested. I just need like a night to think about it because I usually don't make decisions on the first call.
Okay. No worries. I'll just for clarity on my side though. Is it more like, because earlier just before we talked about finances, right? You mentioned that if price we made that work for you, I guess it would be like a green light. So is it more the fact of maybe finances in your way, or is it more like you don't want to just take the decision on this call?
Yeah, it would really more so be kind of like the finances. Oh, and by the way, guys, I'm gonna pause. In the hot seat, it's not meant to be like super hard objections. Like you kind of just give it to him. Like he's like, and you're just like, yeah, it's more so finances because I want to see him validate and reframe. So you don't want to be like throwing out smoke screens and all this crazy shit. Like just keep it simple. So yeah, no, Ferran, you want to be like a 10 out of 10 prospect that just has like a little bit of fear. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Ferran, like I mentioned, like everything seems great. I just like it definitely does kind of come down to the finances for me. Like 5,000 was a little bit more than I was hoping to kind of invest. Yeah.
No worries. I respect you for saying that. If you got all the money right now in your bank account, you'll not even be here, right? So just for clarity on my side, like money out of the equation, like investment out of the equation, do you feel like what we do can actually get you to the X amount of money that you want to make in 6 months?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so it's not more like I'm not even sure if it's the right fit for me. You know it's the right fit for you, just like logistically making it happen at this point.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, then just for me to see how we can help you out, maybe there's some options that we can play with you here, Blake, so this way you can get the board rolling as well. How far away are we from the 5,000 of total investment at this point?
Okay, cool. We can go to the next one. Pick the next person. That was good. Pick somebody else. You don't have to go through the whole thing. It's more so just to get in the pocket and go. We'll warm up and we'll keep going. Pick somebody in here and go.
Okay, Michael looked like I want to talk to my business partner, Michael, see what he thinks about everything.
You want to do what, sorry? What
like everything sounds pretty good, Michael, but I want to check in with my business partner just to make sure he's also on board with everything, and from there, like, pull the trigger because everything sounds pretty awesome.
Okay, yeah, I totally understand. No, that makes total sense. Of like coming on the call today, with me, like, do you feel like you should have been here on the call with us so that you had like both decision makers in the call?
I mean, I'm usually the one who makes decisions in the business. He's more like the marketing side of things.
So what are we like working on here? Like, are you needing to go like clarify something about like how much, like, is it finances, or is it just like the product itself that you're needing to go to your boss about?
No, I mean, I think the product is really good. He would also agree on that. It's more
Okay,
the financial side of things.
Okay, cool. Is it just that like you guys need to, is it like more than you guys thought about like before coming on the call, or is it just you guys need to run the numbers first and then like make a decision later on? Is that kind of what you're thinking?
Yeah, I mean, like $8,000 up front is a big commitment, and we
No,
wouldn't need
definitely.
to cut off ad spend to be able to actually afford it. So
Yeah,
yeah, just
cutting
like run
off
some numbers.
ads is definitely one of those things that it's like a burden, but like getting like the product and getting the value like sooner than later, it will get you up and running, doing what your business is actually like trying to actually scale it. So
All right, pause real quick.
yeah, of course.
Ron, where do you think he could be better? Or where do you think
I need to like, oh shit, okay, no way.
Ron, where do
I
you
feel
think he's
like
losing you right here? Because I already know he is because I can feel it. Where's he losing you?
I feel like you lost me when you planted the objection to me. Like, was it that you need to run some numbers? Or was it that you
Yes.
other objection that you mentioned? Maybe the question that
One thing I wanted to note with this objection, the first thing that he said was good because he was like, shouldn't that person have been on the call to begin with? With
Yeah.
that objection, when we do something like hot seat, that's kind of the one, like the spouse objection and the partner objection are two that I would love to see people immediately address the fact of like, yeah, just to kind of tie back when we first got on the call, when I asked you if anybody else needed to be here, because in my process, that's the thing that we ask at the beginning of every single call so we can get over those objections at the end if they do come out. So he did say that. He's like, didn't you think that person needed to be here? He did say that. So I'll give you your flowers there. All right, Michael, pick somebody. Go.
And I can just say any objection and
Yeah,
like,
pick somebody in here and then you can just say whatever.
Okay, Juliana.
Yeah.
I've paid, so Juliana, like I've seen the program, it looks really good, but I've paid for things just like this before, and like I haven't just got the results that I've been looking for. Like what just makes this different?
Yeah, I can understand that frustration of doing the same action over and over again. But what do you feel you had in your past experience that stopped you from getting that result that you're looking for with us?
Yeah, all right, girl. She ain't even on calls yet.
That is my first call.
All right, go ahead, keep going. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah, honestly, like I guess I just haven't been able to like pull the trigger and actually like fully commit to something. Like I will like like go into a program and like try it out, but like I guess I'm just not sure of myself. And I feel like if I'm going into another one, not sure, like I don't think I'm gonna get the same, like I'm not gonna get the result that I want.
Yeah, I completely understand that fear because the fear of the unknown is what normally stops a lot of people. But the fact that you taking time out of your day to be here with me already shows that you're ready to take that step past that fear and make a difference. So really the only thing that's stopping you is you. But as you've seen with our program, we have coaches and we have resources available to help you get and achieve your goals and then some. So really all you need to ask yourself is why not why because.
So the one thing I want to note on this is the one hard thing about the hot seat is when you don't have discovery and you don't have the ammo to tie back to, you don't do it. So what I like to do in discovery is like you can almost make up on the fly something like what Ferran did, where he was like just to kind of tie back into the first section of the call because that's where you would naturally do it on a call. But having zero context and doing that was really good. Like that was really good so far. All right, pick somebody else. Let's go. That was good.
All right, GG, you're up. All right. I really like everything that you told me, but I'm a big numbers person. Like, I like to see results. And I know it's hard to guarantee, but like, how can I know that I'm going to get the results I'm looking for when going with you instead of going with a different company?
Okay, that's a valid point. What results are you actually looking for?
Well, the whole goal here for me, I want to make money. I want to replace my monthly income with your program now. And you say that I can make and I can start making thousands of dollars, but you know, what if this is just a scam? Because I don't know you, you don't know me.
Okay. Oh, if I'm getting this right, is it because you don't really feel safe and you kind of had, actually, let me ask you this. Did you talk to anybody in the past before, or did you have like any coaching programs or anything before like that?
Yeah, I've had another call before, but I just felt like it was a scam and the girl that was on the call was just there to take my money and not really help me through the process.
Why did you feel like it was a scam?
She just wasn't listening to me. I felt like when I was talking, she was just kind of breezing over me and not listening to what I had to say.
Oh, I completely understand how that feels, to be on a call and then you're not really getting the support that you need. And that's a completely valid point. I would completely understand where you're coming from with that. But in that sense, with us, we're going to guide you and we're going to give you that support that you need, which is actually what we're going to get into a little bit further on. So with that being said, I'll just continue with that, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. So one thing to note, you had it for a second. The one thing I would have said there is like, do you feel like everything up to this point that I've shown you so far replicates the scam or the thing that you saw last time? And if she said yes, then I'd be like, okay, what? And if she said no, then I'd be like, well, then how are you comparing apples to apples?
Okay.
Right. It's like, if she's like, well, no, I don't think this is any different. Then I'm like, okay, well, that's like you sitting here telling me, I was on a date with a shitty guy and he was so shitty and it was a terrible date. I never want to do it again. And now you're on a date with me and you're telling me that I don't resemble that guy whatsoever, but you're comparing both of us when there's just no comparison. So is it fair to say that like maybe you just went on a bad date? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, well, does that stop you from dating in the future? I'm like, no. And I'm like, okay, well then do you see where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Let's get it. Keep going. You can pick whoever.
I'll pick you.
Yes. Let's go.
Okay. I'm actually just having like second thoughts. Like, I don't really want to do this anymore.
Okay. Well, I guess that's crazy. Well, just for my clarity, obviously I just dropped the hammer on you, right? The price. The second thought's coming from the price, or because just a minute ago when we kind of went through the temp check, you were like 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, and we cleared some stuff up. So I guess, I mean, it's okay. I got my big boy pants on, but what just changed from now versus like 30 seconds ago?
I just changed my mind. Like, I don't know, like it's just something telling me not to do it, and I just got too much going on right now. I don't really want to get into this right now. This is not my priority.
Okay. Well, I mean, earlier when we were having a conversation, you had said that you were making how much again?
I was making 6,000.
And now it's gone down to what?
It's still 6,000, but I just have a lot of other priorities. Like, I have family in town right now. I have to take care of a lot of things. I just, right now that I'm thinking about it, I just take my mind.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, I can't put a gun to your head and make a decision that you don't want to do, right? I think me and you both can agree on that. Like if there's no urgency to actually change where you're at, there's no damage that I can do here. Even from a sales rep perspective, I can't force you to do something you don't want to do. But I want to challenge you on that, Gelsey, because earlier, whenever we were having a conversation about when you were making 6,000 and you had touched what like 10K a month was like at that one point in your life, but then it went back to being inconsistent. We also talked about how you started doing all this extra shit that wasn't revenue generating. Like you were doing all this stuff that wasn't really revenue generating. So like my question to you on that is like, you're sitting here and saying it's not a priority, but you also said the difference between six and 10 is 4. And that 4 is the thing that brought you all the time back with your family. I guarantee if I asked you right now, is your family a priority? What would you say?
They're a priority.
Okay, so then by default, is the spread not going to get you to the goal that you're actually looking for? Take money out of it. Does that not get you the time back with your family that is the priority?
Yeah.
Okay, so how else are you going to get there? How else are you going to get there without the extra 4 that you need, that you said that you need? Because with 6, you said that all you do all day is you work nonstop all day. You get home, you eat, you pass out, you repeat. So like what is going to be that change? And let me even ask you this. Even if you had to take a step back from 6 to 4, but that then opened you up from 4 to 10, you never went back down to 10 again. Is that not a trade you'd be willing to make if you knew for a fact you could get there?
Yeah, but how do I know for a fact?
Your effort is a variable that we can't control. But you do know one thing for a fact, and that's if you stay exactly where you're at right now, what's going to happen? You're going to make the same 6,000 you've been making for how long again?
For a while.
So then let me ask you this. Why the hell is this not more of a priority to you? Because a minute ago, you were all in, and then now you're trying to blow this off like it's not a priority to you. Like, and once again, it's totally fine. If you don't want to do it, you can jump off the call. But I'm not going to sit here and let you like go back on your own word, because that's not the type of person that you displayed to me earlier in the call. And I don't want you to set that up, because you're not that type of person for your family. I've already seen it on this call. So one thing I have to you that I want to challenge, and the last thing I want to say is just like, what changed? How did you just completely 180 from just being all in to just this? Where did that decision-making process come from? Because it was just like, you just wrote it off the second we talked about price, right? Is it price? You can be honest with me. Is it just like hearing more money going out when you're not making the money you want to make scare you? Like, you can just be honest with me.
Yeah, I think I'm just scared of like, putting this money in and that I have for my family and then just like not seeing it back. Like, I don't, this is not showing me that I could actually, I don't feel like it's a guarantee.
Well, I mean, look, sweetie, if I sat here and told you to make you feel better that I can guarantee you make 10K, let me ask you this. Would it even make you feel better? Would you even believe me? If I sat here and said, girl, it's a guarantee, you just give me the money, I guarantee you'll make it. Would you believe it? Be honest.
I mean, it depends.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you told me, hey, person that I just met an hour ago, I'll guarantee you that I can change your life, silver bullet, I wouldn't believe you. So I'm not going to sit here and give you a silver bullet guarantee. But here's the one thing I can guarantee you. You already know what touching 10K feels like. You've done it. It was just too inconsistent. So you know it's possible. You know it's possible. The only thing that's going to come back down to is you got to bet the chips again. You know what I mean? Like you bet the chips a little bit, you got lucky, but it was inconsistent. You got to bet the chips again. You've already proven that you can do it. And so you're giving me the sense of doubt and like, oh, I don't know if this is a guarantee. I don't know if I put the money in, it's going to really work for me. But you'll never know unless you actually do it. So you want to do some homework, or do you want to sit around and wonder why it never changed? Because that's, if you want to do some homework, I can guarantee you we can help you take a step forward. But if you don't, there's nothing I can do to change your life from this point.
Okay, you know, I got like, maybe I have, you know, so many.
All right, you want me to keep going or what?
You left her speechless.
Nah,
Sorry, that was a little rusty.
you
I feel like that was rusty.
You kind of shut me down with that one.
Dude, who the f gives you an objection right after you like get a 10 out of 10 in your price shop? And they're like, yeah, I'm not interested no more. I'm like, whoa, what the f? That's a crazy one. All right, let's go. So good, bad rating, 1 to 10. I mean, I'm supposed to be your coach, right? I'm not supposed to
I think
fold.
you got what it really was, which was self-doubt, and like I was just scared of like getting the money in and then not having like that sense of security. So
Yeah. But by the way, like that usually never happens on a call. You get a 1 to 10, someone gives you a 10, and they're just like, I changed my mind right now. Like they'll just blow you a smoke screen. They'll be like, yeah, like I need to think about it or something like that, and then you'll usually uncover that. But like, no, good. That's what we need in the hot seat. All right, Michael, you ready?
Yes, sir.
Dude, to be honest with you, everything looks good. I don't really have any objections. I guess, would you guys be able to split the payment?
Okay. So I totally understand where you're coming from here. You don't want to pay in full right away. Is that correct?
Yeah. I mean, like if you guys could split the payment, that would probably be a little bit more feasible.
Yeah, like this is kind of like where you're trying to, you know, keep like clothes on your back, food on the table, right? So that you can provide for yourself and loved ones, correct?
Yeah, it's just like, you know, making the stretch of spending it all up front right now. It's just like, I don't necessarily know if I were to do this, you know, paying the full like 5K, I'd probably feel a lot more comfortable splitting it in half if you guys
Okay.
could do that.
Is it just that like you have like the full 5 right now, but you're just
There it is. Keep going.
okay. Is it just that you feel like you have the full 5 now, but you're just not like wanting
Willing.
to
Yes.
not willing to like
I don't mean to interrupt you, but yes, you're getting there. So just keep going.
Okay.
Because I know you're a little new to it too, so I'm just trying to give you some feedback live. But keep going. I don't want to interrupt you.
Okay, cool. So no, I totally see where you're at. Like you just not wanting to pull the full trigger. Like you're still like you're still really wanting to get in, but you're not like wanting to fully invest at the moment. If like you did have like enough of the funds, like would
Okay,
like,
hold up. Pause. So you
Yeah.
had it and you lost it because you started labeling.
Okay.
So say the exact same thing to me again. Say what I said to you. Say to me.
I'm not. I just don't like. I'm totally down. Like I'm in. I'm ready to go. Just I can't. I feel like we can just like do half now, half later type of thing.
Yeah, dude. Okay. I mean, transparently, me to you, it's like people paying full. So split pays aren't really like something that we even offer. I guess just for my clarity, is this a matter of like I want to pay in 2 installments or I need to pay in 2 installments? You see the difference? You see the difference real quick?
And
So like the point I was getting at is
tonality.
I feel like you have the answer in your brain, but you're talking it out loud. You're like, is it that like you know what the answer is? So just find a way to condense the words that you're asking and just make it like shorter.
Yeah, no,
More to the
definitely.
point.
I've been looking at your frameworks recently, and they're a lot more hitting the dartboard instead of spraying anywhere like my other mentors. So I'm very happy with it. I'm gonna keep on dialing in.
For sure. Yeah, that was just something to know. All right, pick somebody else. That's just a little learning point. See, do you guys like the hot seat? I love the hot seat. It's so
Bro, I'm loving this right now.
I love that because you start getting warmed up and then it just starts getting better. All right, you pick somebody and keep going. Let's keep going.
Okay. Farhan, how do I say your name properly?
Yeah, that was good.
Okay,
F
Farhan.
money. He's drinking wine. Yeah, he's drinking wine. Where's that coffee?
No, that's coffee.
Oh, I was like, my gosh. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. Farhan, like I see like everything that like in the like what I get, like I see like the value of it. I just don't know if it's like I don't know if it's just worth it for me, like personally. Like I don't know if I can actually like, you know, get the results out of this. Like I just feel like I don't know, I'm kind of skeptical right now.
Okay, and I respect you for sharing that, Michael. Is it more that you're skeptical about what we do, or is it more that you don't fully trust yourself that you can actually get the results that we talked about?
Oh man, like I totally see what like I feel like it's not me. Like I feel like I can put in the work. It's just you guys. Like man, I just don't really know if working with you guys is gonna be like the best decision for me.
Okay, then correct me if I'm wrong, but like a minute ago you said that everything sounded perfect, that it actually checked your boxes and it was like a 10 out of 10 for you besides investments and other things. So I'm just confused, Michael, like what changed for you?
Honestly, like I see like what the product is, like everything in it that does align with me. It's just that like you guys, you know, like the people there just I don't think I click with them all too well. Like I think I just need like a different space, like a different community.
Okay. I mean, I appreciate you for sharing that. What I'm confused though, because obviously if from the start, right, you did not connect with us at all, you would not even be here on this
Yeah.
call, Michael. So I guess like what have you seen specifically about what we do and how we do things that made you go from this is what I want to do to I don't really trust these people anymore?
Yeah, like I came in like interested, like I want to see like what's up, and I do like the value within the product. It's just that like I don't know if you guys just align with like what like my like morals and ethics and values. Like I just feel like I might need to go and look like a different path.
Okay. Okay. If I can push back there, like what are the values and morals that you're looking for on
Good.
the business partner that you're actually going to pick in the future?
Of like when I'm thinking of just like community and like there's always just like a trust factor and as well as like I'm actually putting my money into like something that's actually going to benefit me and like I just want to make sure I'm going to actually make the right decision with you guys because I feel like I could go to someone else who I might be able to just click with them a little bit better.
Okay. Okay. Just for my clarity, Michael, is it fair to say that what you're looking for here is not like values or anything? Because if our values would not align with you, you would already hang up the call. And I would have told you already to hang up the call on us because we would not even be a good fit, you for us and us for you. So coming to this point, even the call, like, is it fair to say what you're looking for is certainty that what we do will actually work for you and get you to the goals that you have? Or is it something totally different than that?
No, I think you're right on that. Like I think it's certainty. Like I'm looking for certainty. I'm looking for a community with like-minded people who are trying to get the same results as me. And I haven't got in the community. I haven't met anyone. So it's just like I don't know if this is actually gonna be the right move for me, but like I'm still here and I'm all ears.
All right, I'm gonna cut in real quick. So, Ferran, you
Yeah.
looped a couple times there, but like
It's
one
a-
thing I would just throw at you, and I see you're getting to it, but it's like he started externalizing and saying, I don't know if the community lines up with what I'm doing. And like one thing I would have said earlier than that, Ferran, is just like, well, are you in the community? And he's like, well, no. And I'd be like, well, then how do you know what it's like? And he's like, I don't. Like there were so many loops right there, and I was like, the whole time I was listening, you guys go back and forth. I was like, when the Ferran's gonna be like, are you in
Yeah.
the community yet? Like, you know what I mean? Like I was just waiting for that to come.
Oh my
But
God.
I mean, Michael, have you ever gotten an objection like that?
Yesterday I got a morals, ethics, and values objection.
That's like a really brokey objection. Like that
Like,
objection, by the way, if
yeah.
you guys hear that, I would just attack the that objection.
It went from
Bro,
like a call where it was just like he wasn't like he was literally like trying to put that out there for me not to be like for him just to leave the call. But I was literally like, bro, you can leave the call whenever. I'm not getting off of this. And then he actually paid in full, so it's all good.
yeah, crazy. I was
Like,
gonna say it's just like it's just like, well, our culture here is winning and succeeding.
Yeah.
Do you not align with those? And he's like, well, say no to that.
Right.
Like it's just like I'd be like, okay, well then how do you yeah, you picked up on
But
it.
I have to admit I did loop a little bit as well yesterday when I did it because that's why I gave it because I was like I kind of threw me off,
Yeah. The thing is, Fran's got good tonality, and so he can probe it.
does.
He would have sat there for an hour to probe it. But that was one thing I noted. I was just like, Fran, like, ask the dude, like, is he in the community or not? He's just not even in it yet.
I was
love
just
the
confused
way
because it was like one thing, the other thing,
I
another thing,
know.
another thing, and I was just
No,
what the fuck,
sorry,
Ferran?
bro.
All right, Fran, pick
That's
somebody. Let's keep it rolling.
Okay. Juliana, actually, I invested, like I mentioned, in an e-commerce program before, and I made the decision on the spot. Like I just paid them on the call, and it ended up being a scam. So I don't really take decisions, like make decisions on the spot anymore.
Ron, that's
So
a
is it
really
cool if I give you an answer like by tomorrow?
Listen, I completely understand comparing past experiences to new ones because it's true. You don't know the outcome until you step into this world and you experience it from my team's perspective. I am sorry because that's really unfortunate. How did you get scammed in your last experience? If you don't mind me asking.
Well, it's not that they get scammed, like they offer me a service, but I did not get what they promised.
Okay, and are they promising anything that I haven't promised you yet on this call?
No, they said that I would be making like $20,000, like $10,000 to $20,000 in like 6 months. But like I told you, I'm making like 5. So
Yeah, well, I'm going to stop you right there just because they're already in the wrong.
Yes.
Tell you now,
Keep going. Sorry. Yes.
I will never guarantee you how much income you can make because that is the one variable that I cannot control is the effort that you put into this program. I can give you all the tools in the world, but now this is something that needs to come from you. If you want it bad enough, you can make a lot of money here, but it's just the amount of work you put in is the amount of reward you get out.
yeah, fair enough.
So with that being said, is this just something of fear that you don't want to lose out on money after you invest with us? Because I can guarantee you I'll be there by your side and our team will support you that if you put the effort in, there is no limit to the money that you can make. So what
set
really is
expectations real quick. Now set them right after you say that. But to come in here and tell you that you're going to make $20,000 from 5 immediately is just not something that we'll do because it's unrealistic. So do exactly what you did and then follow that up with bringing them back down to earth because you built them up and then now reality check it right there because that's especially with this market and the burn, everybody's burned now in this market. It's like overcoming the objection, building them back up, and then checking it right there. It's like, hey, like they're like, I'm ready to go. Like there are people that will be like, I'm ready to go. You reframe my objection. I'm like, are you? Like they're trying to give me money. And I'm like, are you? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, are you sure? And they're like, yes. I'm like, okay. Because like I want to know for sure. Like at the end of the day, like cool, great, we can take the payment and move forward. But like the last thing I want to do is have you come through and just like this be another scenario just like that. And this is what I mean by when I say the art of detachment. Like there's an art of detaching from the sale when the stakes are so high and you're about to win. That'll make you more money. It'll make you so much more money because they are feeling the ultimate sales pressure in that moment, and you're just like a cool cucumber, just like sitting there, just like are you? Just like chilling. Like you're just not even like you're totally like this, like lean back, and they're like so leaned in. And a lot of times what happens is like when they start showing signs of buying, we lean in more. It's like you're supposed to kind of lean out and have them lean in. And it's just like I always refer to objection handling like boxing because that's literally what it is. It's like you're kind of weaving, kind of setting some shit up. Yeah, they lean in, bang, just well, I did a shitty hook there because I was tight. They're leaning in, you know, boom, we're just gonna hit them with the uppercut right there. Elbow, ooh. You know what I'm saying? Like you're waiting for them to lean in so you can just knock them. But the thing is like you hit them one time, you're not gonna knock them out. So you got to pop them one time, pop them, hit them a couple jabs, and then finally when they come in for the last one, you just freaking hit them with a dagger. So that was great though. Your tonality is really good. You have really good tonality for not even being on offer yet. So remember when I onboarded you and I told you this is gonna be quick?
Yeah.
It's gonna be quick for you. Just because you guys, this is an example, like transparently of just somebody that like without my program is going to be successful just because like listen to her tonality and her confidence and the way that she talks and sounds. Like she has not been afraid to meet the objections head on, and she's not even on an offer right now. She's just calling the shit right out and getting right into it. And that's how you win, especially with our process. So pick somebody else, Julian. Let's keep going. Pick Valentino. Valentino, welcome to the hot seat. Where we pick somebody, we throw an objection and you loop and reframe.
Dude, I got like 3 minutes, so.
All right, pick Valentino.
Let's
Let's give him one.
All right, Valentino. Listen, I really do appreciate your time, like going through this program with me. And I know that I said I don't really need to have anyone on this call with me, but hearing that it's $8,000, yeah, I have the money, but I really want to talk to my husband about it before I give it to you.
Okay. Yeah, and that's totally reasonable. I mean, what do you think your husband would tell you right now?
Well, you know, I'm not really sure. The first thing he's going to say is, well, what the fuck are you doing with $8,000? And I feel like I don't know what I'm going to be able to tell him after this conversation. Like,
and have you been kind of talking to him about what we've been discussing about your goals and you trying to get into this space, or like?
Well, he knows that I'm on this call with you, and he knows that I'm trying to replace my current job with something more remote, so him and I can spend more time together. But I just didn't think it would be this much money.
Yeah, and I hear you there. So the $8,000, right? But if I'm hearing you right, you said you have the money and you like everything I talked about, right? You see that like what we're doing will get you to the result that we were talking about, or?
Yeah, no, I have the money. You know, he knows that I have the money too, but I just think I want to run it by him before giving you a certain yes or a certain no.
Yeah, I totally understand. I wouldn't want you like sleeping on the couch or anything, like, because obviously, like, if my girlfriend told me I'm going to be paying $8,000 for this program, like, I would want her to ask me as well. I mean, do you think you'd give him a quick call right now and see what he says, or?
No, he's at work right now, so I wouldn't be able to talk to him.
All
until
right,
later
pause.
on.
So Valentino, good, but you see how you just set yourself up for failure right there by that question?
Yeah,
because now that you asked that, and now that she says no, I can't. Now it seems like you're gonna have to try and like find a way to get her to say yes. Versus you just set yourself up for that by giving her the authority to pretty much do that.
And
versus getting the buy-in of like, getting the buy-in and being like, you almost have to assume that next time if you ever try that, Valentino, which is a good tactic, you assume it. Well, you're like, yeah, no worries. What I'll do is I just mute my mic real quick, just shoot him over a quick call, and then we can just pick it up in a couple minutes. You get a hold of him now.
Yes.
So like you assume it, but Juliana, ask me this, or do the same objection with me real quick.
That's the one that I'm kind of a hard time overcoming, the partner.
No, I mean that was already an improvement from the last call I saw you, so it's getting better. Julian,
I said 4 calls today, bro. I said 4 calls. I have like 2 more people I'm gonna call. And so
Julian, give me the same objection.
So I do appreciate the time, but I feel like $8,000 is a lot of money. I mean, not saying I don't have it. I definitely have it. But if I told my husband right now, like I'm just gonna spend $8,000 on, you know, this random dude that I'm on the phone with, I don't know if he'll approve of it.
Okay, lots to unpack there, right? So is it the decision making process of like I'm gonna ask the husband about the random dude thing, or is it the money thing? You threw two things at me. Which one are we tackling first?
I think we'll start off with the money. I don't know if he'll be okay with me just spending $8,000 on this right now.
So Valentino, to back up on what you said, because this is a good thing you said when you asked the question of, so let me ask you, Juliana, because we had talked a little bit earlier, and I know that originally when you jumped on the call, you did say you do make the decisions, but out of respect, I get it. Like I get, you want to run it by him. My question to you was like, is he aware that you're actively looking for a solution to the problem?
Yeah, he knows. He knows I'm on the phone with you, and he knows that I've been looking at other avenues to replace.
Let's say, yeah, even outside of me, like how long has he actively been knowing that you've been trying to solve this for?
I would say about a year now.
Okay, a year?
Yeah.
I mean, that's outside of money in itself. Why do you feel as if it's even taken that long to solve this problem?
Well, you know, life gets in the way, and I do get caught up with work now, just trying to keep that salary that I'm already making. So I don't really make enough time to step out and look for other options as frequent as I would like to.
Well, when you had told me that your husband worked earlier, and you told me that you were working and it was adding additional money, obviously, for the kids and stuff like that, you had basically said, whatever I make is kind of the whipped cream cherry on top, right? But you were looking for that next avenue to where it's like, you would kind of match the income of your husband. So with that kind of being said, by theory, even if you stopped working tomorrow, you had already even told me earlier that the money that your husband has been making, that $6,000 a month, already covers the kids and the bills. And the money that you were making is just a whipped cream cherry on top, correct? Like, I just want to clarify that.
Yeah, that's
okay.
correct.
So if that's the case, it's just me to you, just person to person. Why do you feel like it's taken a year to solve it? Because by theory, you could have already stopped working and dedicated your entire time, energy, and effort into solving this one problem. Do you really feel as like, if I'm going to ask you honestly, do you actually feel like you've been putting in all the time, energy, and effort into solving the problem for a year straight? Or do you feel like there have been areas and times and maybe even months where you've kind of put those goals on the back burner to just do this or do your current job?
Yeah, I guess, you know, when you put it like that, no, I probably haven't been given the time that I could.
Why do you think you haven't, though? That's the real question I'm trying to get at. Why?
Maybe that fear of the unknown and not succeeding.
Okay, so your husband, once again, to tie back, your husband does know you're on the call and your husband does know you've been actively trying to do this, correct?
Yeah.
So do you think your husband, after a year of telling your husband, I'm going to change this, I'm going to change this, I'm going to change this, do you think that just me to you, take him out of the equation, do you think there's been a year that's gone by where in the back of his mind, he's probably thought, when the f is she going to fix this? At all?
Yeah, me to you. I think he definitely questions if I can do it or not.
Because like my girl, here's the thing. It's like my girl's been telling me that she's been wanting to get a real estate license for like 2 years. And I'm like, sweetheart, it's 180 hours of course material. If you really locked in from 6 to 10 and did it and took the weekends, it wouldn't be fun, but you can accomplish it in a couple months, right? And the reason why I ask you that is because is it going to be more beneficial for you to go to your husband and say, honey, it was a lot, but I'm in and I'm actively solving it and fixing it. And on top of it, you know for a fact that the bills, like the money your husband's making, is going to cover your life. And your shit is just the whipped cream cherry on top right now, like you said in the beginning. So it's like, it's not even really like going to be a financial constraint. More than anything, it's just going to be like, I'm just going to say for me to you, he's probably going to look at it and say, it's relieving to see that you're making forward progress in it, right? So if you knew that it's going to be relieving to make forward progress in the decision, is it better to go to him and ask for permission and try and re-loop and do stuff? Or is it better to go to him and just say, I'm finally taking the first step forward and fixing it? What do you think he's going to value more?
Yeah, when you put it that way, I think he's going to appreciate my initiative and showing that I really want to do this and make that kind of money.
Well, do you? Like, do you actually want to do this? Like his decision out of it. Like, do you want to do this?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be on the call if I didn't.
And I mean, you can fairly say, yes, your husband maybe makes 6K, but you make 4K. I would still argue that's y'all's money. It's not his money. Does he come and does he ask you on every purchase that he makes, that's a couple thousand, does he actually ask you for every single decision or no?
No, he doesn't really run that stuff by me.
Okay. Well, then all I'm going to sit here and say is, girl, like you want to go match the breadwinner and you've been actively trying to solve it, make the decision and go to him with the solution.
Yeah, and that does sound like a good idea. All right.
Are you ready to do some homework?
Yeah, I guess I'm ready to get started.
Very good, very good.
What's different?
No.
What was different? The art of detachment. Guys, that's what I'm trying to show you guys here. The art of detaching from the sale. And that's why it's so important for discovery. Like I can't, the reason why you guys might watch me do these things and when you guys maybe do them, you're like, oh, that was so like good or whatever. Like the only difference is I'm using discovery if you guys have noticed that. Like I'm just making up, oh, you were the breadwinner, you made 4K, he made 6K. Like I'm obviously making this up on the fly, but like that's why you got to listen so much in discovery because it helps you out so much right here. Like the discovery, guys, is for this moment. Just remember that. The discovery is for this moment right here. And so when you cheap out on discovery, you're cheaping out on your options to close the deal. It's not for anything else. Like when someone tells me that they have a marketing agency and they have been working with other providers and stuff like that, all I'm going to say is right in this moment, well, now you're telling me you want to look at other avenues, but you've tried the other 4 avenues and they haven't worked. So what are you going to go do? You're going to go try another avenue that doesn't work? You already told me that. Like it's just using it from before. And obviously you hear people say like, oh, the discovery is for, you know, obviously to get your tie downs for objections. But like, I don't think any coaches really show you what that means in live environment. This is what it is. Like right here, how I am just labeling you, Juliana.
Yeah.
I am not letting you off the hook. I'm going to hold you to those tie downs. I'm going to build you up. I try, also, not only did I hold you to make a decision, did I not kind of give you an independent woman feeling there? Like it's your decision.
Yeah.
Did I not just kind of level the playing field and show you that like your husband's making 6, you're making 4? Like I leveled the playing field on the decision to make it feel like his decision was actually less valuable to you. And yours was actually more valuable than you were giving yourself credit for. So not only am I overcoming your rejection, but I'm building you up as a woman because when you're going to somebody and you're saying I'm leaning on that person for a decision, you're essentially tearing yourself down. You're either giving me a smoke screen, which is most of the time they're doing, but you're tearing yourself down by saying like, oh, I need his permission to make the decision. And I basically built you up and I was like, you're a strong, independent woman. You make money. You can make the fucking decision.
Yeah, and I did like to at the end how you compared it. Well, is he coming to you for those decisions? Like you're about to go to him because I feel like I haven't seen that a lot on calls where people just try to compare it. Like, oh,
and then
your
also,
husband
do you guys notice how fast I get into trying to close? There's never an eerie, awkward moment. The second I get the reframe, the second they're like, when you put it like that, it makes a great thing. I'm like, so you ready to do some homework or what? I push right there. There's no like, there's not a moment later. I wait. I push right there. And then because in that moment, you have to understand for their brain, they're immediately just like, they just gave you the frame. And so now you're leading and you have like a blitz second to just do it. So just grab it and you're like, ready to do some homework. And they're just like, they're going to be like this. They're going to be like,
yeah.
Can I not just talk to them real quick? It turns more like, now they're asking for you for permission. And if you go into defense mode right there, and I see, this is where I see a lot of like good closers never really make great closers, is because like once they get the first reframe, they get back into like defense mode where they're like, you sure I can't run it by him? I'm like, you can absolutely run it by him. But what has that done up to this point? Like I mentioned, you just told me I get that tie down that I just got right there. I'm like, you just told me that he's already irritated with the decision you're making. So you're going to go and add more. You know what it is, Juliana? Can I share a perspective with you? You are afraid that if you make this decision, your effort is the variable that he doesn't control. And so if you fail, it's going to look bad on you to him. That's the true fear, is like, I'm going to make this decision and I don't have enough internal conviction in myself that I can do this. So if it fails, my husband's going to look at me as a failure. That's really what it is. You're not asking for his permission to make a decision. You're hoping that he says no. So then if you don't, or you're hoping that he says yes, so that if you do it and it doesn't work out, you can look at your husband and say, well, you know, we made the decision mutually, right? Versus owning it. That is how you get someone like really in the pocket and making them realize like, bro, this isn't about permission. This is about the fear of failure. That is, by the way, the second level of objections. That is why that objection is always a smokescreen. That objection, I have used it on people. Oh, I got to go talk to my business partner. And I'm sitting there actively knowing that if this person lets me off the call, I am not coming back. Like, I know it in that moment. So that's why I don't believe it, because I've gone that distance. And I think for a lot of us, you have to remember when you guys were going to invest in my program, none of y'all came on here credit card in hand, besides pretty much like Michael, really. Michael did, actually. Michael was just like, bro, this is fucking sick, bro. I want to buy it. Michael just paid in full, like just piffed. Like Michael was low-key a layup. But I have y'all's call recordings. Everyone, even Ryan. And Ryan paid in full as well. Like when I say paid in full, just freaking slap that shit down. But Ryan had limiting beliefs. Ryan said, I need to go talk. I think you said you need to go talk to your wife, didn't you?
I did. And then it And I was ready to do it right then and there, but then I just made the quick
Exactly.
decision.
That's what I'm trying to say, guys. And when you go the distance, this is why I love training people who buy in my program. Because once you go the distance and you jump in the water, you know what it feels like to go the distance. That's like with like Gigi, whenever or Gilsey, sorry, it says Gigi on there. When Gilsey and me were talking, I was on board, and she was doing the door-to-door thing. I told her straight up, girl, you are never gonna have the success that you could have if you went all in on this. And with her committing and going all in on this, when she gets a prospect on the phone that's got a 9 to 5 that wants to pivot, she can use that story. Girl, when I first invested in my into my first program, like I was in door to door and I had to quit everything. And I had never bet on myself yet. That was like the first thing that ever paid off for me. So I know where you're sitting. I know the once you know the depths of which you can go, it's so easy to sell because you just have so much conviction. And the truth is, the reason why people might look at me or some of these other sales guys and think we're like really good is just because we've bet on ourselves for like 5 years. Like I just have so much conviction in myself, like in my belief. Like I just have so much confidence that I'm like a winner. That like when I get on the phone with somebody who like belittles himself or gives me an objection, like that's not the person that they should be. And like I just have so much confidence in who that person could be that I just like, I don't know. I think they can just feel it on the call. They can just feel like my conviction in them. So that's like level 3. Level 1 is like overcoming a couple of objections, closing. Level 2 is like overcoming objections, then like coaching them and closing them. Level 3 is just like breathing conviction. Like from the second they get on the call with you, they're just like, holy fuck. Like imagine if I jumped on the closing call with you guys for my program. Like I would close every one of y'all.
I even remember like with Demena, my objection was I wanted to talk to my dad because this was maybe my second call that I went around with the company and I had zero intention of finding something that I would like or a program that I actually wanted to invest in. And she let me hang up. She's like, all right, go. And I really liked her question to me because she'd asked me, she was like, well, what's something that you're not asking that you think your dad's going to ask? And I said, I was like, I don't know. I feel like I've asked all the questions. Whenever fast forward, we hung up immediately that night. She's like, all right, you spoke with him. Like, was there anything else that you didn't ask? And I was like, well, no, like pretty much everything is pointing to a yes. And that's how she got me to close. And that was
yeah, but it's like the one problem with that is she left that margin of error for you to not come back.
Yeah.
Versus like the 3 out of 3, the elite level, they would have never let you get off that call. Ever.
Yeah, true.
And that's like my goal with them. Like Demena is a phenomenal closer. I'm making her level 3. She's she's got it all. She can run a frame. She can gap, build the discover. Like she's got it all down. But like there's that next level of just like utter conviction. And I will say like she started to develop into it, which is dope because she's seeing the results that we're having for people here. So now she's like, oh wow, like she's also bought in a coaching program and she spent more money on that program than this one. And that thing had one coaching call on the calendar.
Yeah,
and it had
I
like
actually looked into that coaching program before finding you.
Yeah, it was on top of that. It has like 2 course modules. And she's like, I genuinely believe that you actually have like the best program on the market. Like, she's seen it. She's seen like multiple other ones. And like, she's like, I think you actually do have the best one. I'm like, of course I got the best one. You know, like, what are you talking about? Of course I got the best one. Like, what do you think? I'm cheaping out over here? Like, dude, my margins on my coaching business are like done for you agency margins. Like, I don't run this thing like super profitable, but like, it is what it is, bro. Like, it gets the result. And like, that's just the way it is, man. Like, we're upping the price this month too. Like, we're just going to keep upping it. Just upping it, upping it, upping it. And so like, until we just hit a wall where we can't close, I'm just going to keep upping it. Because I don't want 1 million people in here. I want a ton of coaching calls with very few people. Like, I just want it to be like premium shit, low key, honestly. So, hot seat, Ryan, go. We got 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Who is Juliana? Yeah, Juliana, give Ryan an objection.
All right. Let me think of a good one. Yeah, so I do like everything that you said, but that's a really big number. Like, I don't know if I'm willing to put in 10. I don't even know if I can give you 10,000 right now.
Okay. And I mean, just to really, make sure we're clear, like money aside, let's just remove money. Does this check all the boxes? Like, do you feel like this could get you exactly where you want to go?
Yeah, I definitely think it could.
Okay. And is it just a standpoint of, because you just mentioned that you don't even know if you can give the 10K for the program. Is it just that it's not there, or is it just kind of scary to stretch into that?
I don't have the full 10,000 right now. I do have some of it, but not all of it.
Okay. And when you say some of it,
I have like 6,000 or 7,000 that I can give right now.
Okay. Well, you know what? I do not want to have this be a scenario where we can't get started today. Like, would you be like, why don't let's just put down, like you said, you got 6 or 7?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to do the 6, 7 thing, but that's just kind of funny. Like, how about
How old are you, Ryan? How old are you?
I'm 37. You know?
I also did not mean to say 6 or 7 like
I was
that.
like, I don't want to do the 6, 7 thing. I'm like, bro, come on, bro. That is like.
As soon as you said 6 or 7, I realized I use those numbers. Unless I have 7 or 8,000. Just.
Well, and I mean, basically what I was going to go into, like, why don't we put down, like, let's save you $2,000. Why don't we put down 5 today? And then we can work out, the rest in terms of.
Okay. So one thing I want to know on that, Ryan, is like, there's not enough to negotiate yet. Like, Juliana, dish me the same thing real quick.
I don't have the full 10,000. I have 7 or 8.
Ryan, your Civer, like, Clarify ISO was perfect. Like, literally 10, like, literally I heard it and I was like, that literally sounds like somebody I know. So it's like, yeah, I guess just for my clarity, when you say you don't have the 10,000, you said have?
Yes, I don't have the 10,000.
It's like, I don't have the 10,000, or it's like, I have the 10,000, but I can't spend it. So there's 2 different scenarios.
Well, I have like 7,000 or 8,000, but if I start tapping in right away, then it affects
Watch
me.
this, Ryan. Like, watch, lean in. Okay. Yeah. Because in your mind, like, your 7,000 is a $10,000 program. Like, you're going to have to go belly up to pretty much even start this. Correct?
Yeah.
Or like, do you have a safety net? Just out of curiosity, like you don't have to tell me, but I just want to know to see if I can, like, if this is even something we can help you with.
Well, I mean, if you need the money right now, I can only give you 7,000, but I think
No,
down
no,
the
like
line,
screw the initial thing. What I'm wondering is like, if you even could give me 7,000 out of the 10, which isn't even the full amount yet, so I don't even know if we can. Like, what would be left? Like, is that it? You're out. Like, there's nothing more. It's just credit card stacking after that, or like, what does that even look like?
No, I still have some money aside that I can breathe and live if I put in this investment.
Well,
But
like
I
my
have a
question
little
here is
bit
like,
of cushion.
just from like a like I always look at things in terms of risk mitigation, right? Like at the end of the day, you seem like you're already telling me like if I just can give you the 7, I'm not trying to walk myself out of a deal here, right? Like you're over here like if I can give you the 7, that'd be great. We can start there. But I want to know from a risk mitigation standpoint with your bills and everything that we kind of discussed earlier, like do you have 3 to 6 months of working capital that you could have? Say worst case scenario, things didn't just freaking skyrocket like you dream. Like I just want to know from a risk mitigation standpoint, or is it a scenario where it's like if you did go in with a 7, you're putting yourself in like any type of like financial risk?
I'm trying to think because I want to hear your objection for specifically.
See, this is an example of where people fuck up probing logistics is they jump into negotiation too fast. I detach from the sale here because it shows that I care.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing here. And this, by the way, guys, this works really, really, really well with S types and C types. Really well. Like steady, conscientious people. Oh my God. Like if you detach right here and you do things from a risk mitigation standpoint, you close them left and right. Because like D type personalities usually give you like the objections, like, oh, I need to think about it, I need to talk to my partner. They give you like the smoke screens, right? I types are like, they try to talk themselves out of it, but like S and C, they're usually like, okay, either like, I don't have it, I can't do it, or they're like, I can do it.
Yeah. Okay.
But
So
I'm
what
not-
if I said like I only have the 7,000? Then it does start to hurt me afterwards.
Hold on, I got a meeting here in 1 minute, but let me text this guy and tell him I'm gonna be like a couple minutes over. What was your question?
If I were to tell you like I couldn't go past that 7,000, then it starts to put me in risk. Like that's
Okay,
the
so
most I have.
once again, kind of confirming me, like what is life? You know, I don't obviously at the end of the day, you'd probably like to have a nice dinner once a month. I don't want you to like feel like you have nothing. But at the end of the day, you told me that you're extremely tired of where you're being at. I can see that you're an eager person, and like I love that. That's the characteristic that we look for here, honestly, because there are intangible things outside of money that I can't control, and I can see that you are that person. But my question to you on that is like, what was your say again? What was it? Which one am I doing?
I have the 7,000, but I can't go over it. Then I start
Because you get into financial strain.
Yeah.
Okay, so what does that actually look like? Because you said you had a safety net behind you.
Well, then I can't go out to dinner with my girlfriends or go
But like
out
the safety net, just me to you, like what 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000, like that completely changes the entire perspective of my answer.
I would say 10,000.
Okay, so and then bills are what, 4?
Yeah.
Okay, so basically the way your mindset is, we got 2.5 months to live before you got to go shake a cup on the corner if nothing works, which
Yeah.
obviously is not the scenario, right? But like that's kind of where your mind's at.
Because what if
Yeah,
what if I don't make the money in the next 2 months, like through your program, if I do everything?
Yeah. No, let me ask you: is there a sense of doubt that you won't, or are you kind of just like, I'm confident I can make it happen, but what if?
Yeah, I'm definitely confident I can make it happen, but I like to be realistic. What if
Yeah, me
something
too.
happens and I don't hit that mark, and then I'm kind of just stranded?
Yeah, but once again, we kind of set the expectation of that mark potentially taking a step down from making 6K a month to like 4 or 5 in the meantime. So realistically, you would break even worst case scenario, and that's not guaranteed, but worst case scenario, that's what it kind of would look like. And transparently for me to you, I don't want you to feel like you are in a position where you are going to lose. So I guess my final question to you real quick is like, is this a scenario where say the program was 7K, you would want to do it?
Yeah.
Okay. And obviously it's not, right? I can't change the number. So I'll tell you what, this is my favorite. This is, by the way, guys, I used to do this all the time. It's my favorite thing. I start looking away and shit like this. So like you're 2 feet in.
If it was at the 7,000.
Yeah. God, I don't want to like, you are literally like the dream client for us. Like, honestly, you really are. Tell you what, can you give me like 2 minutes? I'm going to call my sales manager real quick. I'm going to run him through everything real fast. And I'm going to see like what we can do. Cause usually we don't do anything potentially like a 2-pay. It just usually has to depend, but I'm telling you right now, Juliana, if you are 2 feet in, like you said you are, I can go to him and just see. I don't know if he's even going to say yes, but I could at least come back here and bring us some options.
Yeah.
You
That
want
would
me to go give him a call real quick and just see if there's anything we can do?
Yeah, that would be awesome.
But I will say, before I do call him, if we can figure something out, you are 2 feet in, like you would actually move forward if it made sense.
Yeah, if it made sense, I would
Okay,
definitely.
gotcha. And I always, guys, by the way, I always say if it makes sense. Like you have to get the tie down before you do this, or else you're just like, let me go ask my sales manager and I'll come back and give you options. You give them options and they're just like, cool, great, thanks for making the program cheaper. I'm still gonna think about it. You have to get them to like commit there. Then I come back and I'm like, all right, Juliana, you want the good news or you want the bad news?
I guess the bad news first.
Okay, so the bad news is it's 10K. I can't really do anything on the price point of the program. Now, granted, I know you said if it was 7, we could get you in at 7. What I did was I went ahead and made it a 2-pay, 5 and 5, no other interest. And the reason why I did it is because I want to give you that couple $1,000 cushion to make sure that you do have more time for bills and just stuff like that. I would always use that, guys, because you're framing the negotiation in their best interest and you're actually taking a couple $100 away out of your commissions, but it locks in the deal. I did it all the time. Like I would lay up these like 2K payment plans, 3K payment plans, because I'd come back and they're just going to think I'm going to say, yeah, I got you in for the 7, but I'm actually like, I actually got you in for the 5.
Well, I was going to do that, but I missed out on the whole gap creation was,
Yeah,
which
I got you in
is
at that 5.
awesome.
So now it feels like I went to bat for you and I got you a deal and you've already committed 2 feet in. So that is how I push a logistical type of objection to close with someone that has money. It's completely different if someone's like actually broke as fuck. Then you got to come back and do like, 3 payments of 2 or something like that. But that's how I do it. I do got to hop, guys. I'm like way over, and I got a meeting with one of my off runners, so I gotta jump with him. But dude, I love the hot seat. I want to do this more. This is
Yeah,
like,
this is good. I like this one.
This is
come on, what do you think about the hot seat? Should we make this a call?
Oh, definitely. Like every other
I
day.
think that like the hot seat is definitely like more of an advanced call versus like call reviews. Because call reviews you like watch it, dissect it, and show. But the hot seat
This
is like
way better.
yeah, the hot seat's fun.
Yeah, because you can do discovery, objections, you can do all sorts of different spots.
Taking it head on is so much different. It's so good.
Okay, all right, y'all. I gotta jump. Peace.
All right. Thank you.